I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Dennis.
And welcome to Salento. Today we have a great tour for you for this episode of Spotlight Salento. When we go to La Concheria, we love the beer there from Birra Salento. And we got to get a tour today, so we're going to take you on a little tour of the brewery.
We're going to see where all the beer comes from that we drink.
Where all the beer comes from. And it's today is a real scorcher. It's nice and warm. So there's nothing like a cold beer on a really, really hot day.
I'm ready for the beer now.
Well, let's do the tour first. We're going to give you a little quick tour of the outside. I mean, this facility is absolutely huge.
Yeah,
Can you believe
it's a huge place.
It was this big. We had no idea that it would be this big when we showed up. So we're going to give you a little quick tour of the outside, then we'll go inside and see where they make that beer. So before we go in for the tour, because we're going to go actually take a tour of the brewery, if you want to come here and you just want to have a beer or you want to just purchase some, there's a whole tasting area here where you can taste some beers, have beer, and sit outside, which is really, really cool. I didn't know that they had that. And then they have actually a takeaway case, or they have a whole bunch here that you can buy and just take home with you. So in case there's beer that you really, really like, one of their beers that you really like and you want to have it at home, or you're not going out to the restaurant, you can purchase it here and have it at home, which is really, really great. So we just started our tour, and our guide, Chiara, her father started this brewery, right? And he started it in their garage, well, his garage at the time. So he was 16 years old, which is amazing to start at 16, deliver it door to door, right?
Yep.
I mean, could you imagine starting a business like that? And then he started to get restaurants and businesses to buy it. And they had to increase their production so much that they couldn't use the garage anymore. And then they had to open up a production facility in a country home that they had. And then from that country home that they had, then they started, growing and growing, and then starting to buy the land here in Leverano, where they built this big, beautiful facility now.
And it took them what, almost 8 or 10 years?
It took 2 years to build and 7 or 8 years of bureaucracy.
Welcome to Italy.
Welcome to Italy. We had to get hairnets and foot booties on to get into the brewery. So we're inside the brewing room, right? This is the boiling room and where all of the beers ferment. And right behind us in a minute, we're going to be tasting. Do you think that's enough glasses for us, Dennis? I don't know. They may need to get a few more glasses. We're going to want to taste a lot more. Look at the size of that. All the way up.
Fresh from the tap.
Fresh from the tap, fresh from the tank. How is it? It's good. So we got samples of the beer from the tank before it actually gets bottled, which is so cool. So the taste is absolutely completely different than you would get in the bottle. It's so good. It's so fuzzy and fresh and just delicious. So in this boiling room, fermentation room, this is also the bottling room. And the equipment that they have here is unbelievable. I mean, it looks like the winery. I mean, the process is almost exactly the same as they do in a winery. I mean, obviously different steps and different things, but the way that they bottle the wine and the way that they bottle the beer are pretty much the same. And they even have a whole bunch of little mini kegs for us to take home. How long do you think that'll last us?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. So an interesting story that we just found out, when they were building this and they were waiting for all the paperwork to come through from Italy, they were getting very discouraged.
They were going to give up.
They were going to give up. So Chiara's father, Maurizio, they were building this brewery and they said, you know what, it's just taking too long. We don't think that we're going to be able to make it. We don't think that we're going to be able to continue with the process. It was taking years and years and years. And I can imagine it was costing them just so much money to continue this process. And then a cousin showed up at the door and rang the doorbell and said, I found a letter from your grandfather, so Chiara's grandfather, which would be Maurizio's father. And it was from when he was temporarily living in Germany. Was it Germany or was it Switzerland?
It was Switzerland.
He was living in Switzerland and he was actually working at a brewery in Switzerland. And he was describing in this letter how he loved working at the brewery and that he just enjoyed it so much, and that he was meeting more Italian families in the neighborhood that he was living in. And he said that they were becoming one large family. And so I'm getting chills now just explaining it. So they received this letter and they said, you know what, we're not going to give up. We're going to continue our quest, right, of having our brewery, and we're not going to give up. And then everything all of a sudden fell into place and happened, but they were almost about to give up. And now look at what happened. Aren't we glad that they didn't give up? Because now they have a beautiful business.
This is the original letter and this is the original envelope. As you can see, the stamp from Freiburg and it was sent to Germany.
So we're up here this is a tasting room that they use in the winter when it's not too hot, because right now today is really warm outside. If you come in the winter, you can actually come up here and do tastings, and it's just absolutely beautiful. What a really, really, really beautiful place. We're waiting now. The last part of the tasting is they're going to do 3 dishes and they're going to do 3 beers that they're going to do pairings with the beers, which is really, really nice. So if you're ever in this area and you want to come and have a beautiful experience, I mean, the tour and everything is just so wonderful. This is definitely a must-see. Okay, so I'm here with Mariluna, Chiara, and Fernando, and they're all the son and daughters of Maurizio, who is the owner of Birra Salento, and they all work here in different capacities. So Chiara, she does imports, and she also does import-exports, and she also does the arranging of the beer tasting events at night. And Fernando works in sales and marketing, and Mariluna
is a little helper.
but you know what? She's been helping all night. She's been so wonderful, and we want to thank you so much for inviting us here and for welcoming us into your family business, and this feels like an extension of home, your home, and we feel so welcome here. So we wanted to say thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you. So we wanted to say thank you for joining us on this tour today. This was such an amazing experience. The family-owned business here, Birra Salento, and the brewery. What an amazing facility with just the amount of beer that they produce.
Yeah, and I just had a lot of samples.
We had lots of samples, and what a beautiful tour that they give you. And at the end, they do a little bit of a beer sampling with a food pairing, and it was just such a great experience. So if you're in Salento, if you're near Leverano, or if you're not, make your way down here and visit Birra Salento, because they're just what an amazing family, and what a wonderful experience we had. Again, thank you for joining us today on Salve Salento and Spotlight Salento at Birra Salento. If you like this video, please click on the like.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to become a member, we're going to start have more things for members, for special things for members on our channel. So we hope to see you again soon. Take care. Ciao.